what is a Cheeto? You know, like what's in it? If I wanted to make one at home, where would I start? What is the base ingredient? You have no idea, neither do I. Cheetos are what they call an ultra-processed food. And Americans eat these types of foods all of the time. Bread, frozen waffles, Coke and Pepsi, Cheez-Its, protein bars, ketchup, frozen pizzas, instant ramen, a scoop of cookies and cream ice cream, or just a turkey sandwich from the deli counter. They're all delicious. But study after study is saying that they may also be killing us. Now, a lawsuit says the companies making these foods know that, and it claims that some of the biggest names in the snack section are even using the same master playbook as Big Tobacco to get you hooked and to advertise to your kids. So what should you really know about all of this? And how dangerous are these foods? WRAL health reporter Grace Haba breaks it down.
They're found on store shelves everywhere.
For a majority of Americans now, ultra-processed foods are the majority of the calories that they take in.
And doctors are urging us to be aware of how often ultra-processed foods end up in our carts.
It really increases the risk of obesity, and with that, the risk of high blood pressure, diabetes, and other heart risk factors.
Dr. Christopher Kelly, a cardiologist with UNC Rex, defines ultra-processed foods as products with a long shelf life, 5 or more ingredients, and those that usually contain a lot of sugar. The ingredients make the foods more addicting, and Kelly says they can increase your risk of heart disease if you eat them often.
When people eat ultra-processed foods, they usually consume 20 or 30% more calories than they would if they were eating ordinary food that they cooked themselves.
A federal lawsuit claims that's no coincidence. The suit accuses 11 major food companies of marketing unhealthy and addictive foods to Americans, including spending $2 billion a year on marketing aimed at children.
Never go by what's on the front of the package.
Registered dietitian Shelley Wegman says you can reduce the amount of ultra-processed food your family eats by sticking to the perimeter of the grocery store. Those are areas where you typically find fresh produce and dairy. She also says it's important to pay close attention to labels.
What some manufacturers do is they will use multiple versions of sugar, so it's not the first ingredient. If you start seeing things that you don't recognize, it might be an emulsifying agent or a flavoring agent.
So often when we read the sides of those labels, we're seeing words that we can't even pronounce, yet alone recognize. So we got Grace Haba here right now to talk about this a little bit. Let's mention that lawsuit again that we were discussing off the top, alleging that companies are using the same playbook as Big Tobacco. Can you give us an idea of what they mean by that?
Yeah, so the lawsuit is essentially claiming that these companies are using the same marketing tactics that Big Tobacco used when selling cigarettes. So take the company Philip Morris, for example. They're actually the company behind Marlboro. Well, they actually went on to then buy Kraft in the late 1980s. You kind of see the connection here. So the lawsuit claims that these kinds of companies found this playbook and continued to follow it, creating these foods that speak to the same addictive parts of our brain, just like tobacco and cigarettes, that keep us coming back for more. So the suit claims that the companies know this and are continuing to use this model, knowing that what they're selling us, Dan, offers a whole lot of calories with little to no, in some cases, nutritional value.
Okay, I mean, this is a topic that's so important to people right now. It deals with our food and our families and our health and everything, and I know you'll stay on top of it. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for the reporting tonight. And any of you at home, again, this is a huge topic in the health world and in all of our lives and world. If you have some questions, please let me know. I know I honestly don't know a person who doesn't have those foods in their homes. So, I know you have questions about this, so let me know. Dan@WRAL.com. This is a perfect topic to go in depth. Also, our team here at WRAL is paying close attention to it because right now our doc team is working on a documentary about cancer getting younger. And they have talked to researchers and doctors in North Carolina who believe that these ultra-processed foods could be to blame. It's called Diagnosis Young, the new face of cancer in North Carolina. It is set to air a little later this month on June 26th.